Please welcome our next speaker, Mr. Rashid Khatbullin, to the stage.
I was raised in a ghost story. Not a story of spirits, but a story of a system. I grew up in a Soviet-style school where the walls were high and the expectations were higher. In that world, a mistake wasn't a learning opportunity. It was a moral failing. Our teachers were trained in an ideology where correctness was the only currency. If your handwriting wavered, you erased it until the paper tore. If your grammar stumbled, you went back to the beginning. Eventually, I became a perfectionist, not because I loved being right, but because I was terrified of being wrong. When I moved to Indonesia, I brought that Soviet ghost with me. I stood before my students with my English mastery acting as a human encyclopedia. I thought that if I showed a single crack in my perfection, I would lose my authority. The ghost of my education finally met its match in October 2025, when I decided to enter Festival Handai Indonesia in the category of bercerita, the storytelling. Now, imagine a Soviet-trained perfectionist trying to speak a language he hasn't mastered on a national stage. Every cell in my body was screaming, "Stop! You aren't fluent yet. You'll make a fool of yourself." That was my internal Soviet trying to protect me by keeping me silent. But I chose to try a new theory: impact over perfection. I decided to tell an Indonesian local legend. I knew my tongue might stumble over the prefixes, or I could even butcher a few words like menyanggupinya or meningkatkan. So I didn't rely on my tongue alone. I used my hands and different objects to make my story visual. I wasn't just speaking. I was engineering an emotional connection. So I recorded a video of me telling the story, sent it off, and waited. To my shock, I was named one of the 7 best storytellers among around 400 participants from all over the world, and invited to Jakarta for the appreciation program. I remember sitting in that hall, surrounded by incredible speakers. Their Indonesian was so flawless, only their physical features betrayed their true foreign identity. And there was I, still feeling like that imperfect student with a messy grammar and vocabulary. And then they announced it. Peserta terbaik 2, Rashid Khatbullin dari Rusia. Second place. I didn't win because I had the best grammar in the room. I won because I was brave enough to be incomplete in public. I won because I was fluently failing, using everything I had to make the audience feel the story rather than just hear the words. That was the moment when I realized grade point average is what gets you into the room, but it's your courage to wonder and wonder is what puts you on the podium. Many of you are sitting where I once sat, and you are haunted by that internal Soviet. But we are living in a world of AI and rapid change. The world doesn't need people who can follow a rubric perfectly. A computer can do that. The world needs people who have communicative resilience. It needs a student who gets a C but still keeps trying. Excellence is not a grade on a transcript. It is the courage to stay in the conversation when you don't have all the answers. Don't aim for a grade. Dare to be misunderstood. Because the moment you stop trying to be perfect is the exact moment you start being brilliant. Terima kasih. Thank you.